John Shea, Brennan Manning used to tell this old Hasidic story that comes from the Jews in Poland, I think, about a boy named Mordecai, and it went something like this. The night before his studies were to begin, his parents sat him down and told him how important the Word of God was. Yet the next day, Mordecai never arrived at the synagogue. Instead, he found himself in the woods, swimming in the lake and climbing the trees. When he came home that night, the news had spread throughout the entire village. Everyone knew of his shame. His parents were beside themselves. They didn't know what to do. So they called in the behavior modificationists, the law, the cops, the disciplinarians, the power brokers, the behavior modificationists to modify Mordecai's behavior until there was no behavior of Mordecai that was not modified. Nevertheless, the next day he found himself in the woods, swimming in the lake, climbing the trees. So they called in the psychoanalysts. They had those a couple hundred years ago in Poland, I guess. Those who claimed to have knowledge, who unblocked Mordecai's blockages so that there were no more blocks for Mordecai to be blocked by. Nevertheless, he found himself the next day in the woods, swimming in the lake, climbing the trees. His parents grieved for their son, their beloved son. There seemed to be no hope. At the same time, the great rabbi visited the village. And the parents said, perhaps the rabbi. So they took Mordecai to the rabbi and told him their tale of woe. The rabbi bellowed, "Leave the boy with me, and I will have a talking with him." It was bad enough that Mordecai would not go to the synagogue. But to leave their beloved son alone with this lion of a man was terrifying. However, they had come this far, so they left him. Now Mordecai stood in the hallway, and the great rabbi stood in his parlor. He beckoned, "Boy, come here." Trembling, Mordecai came forward. And then the great rabbi picked him up and held him silently against his heart. His parents came to get Mordecai, and they took him home. The next day he went to the synagogue to learn the word of God, and when he was done, he went to the woods. And the woods spoke the word of God. He swam in the lake, and the lake sang the word of God. He climbed the trees, and everything danced to the tune, the rhythm of the word of God. And Mordecai spoke the word of God. He grew up to become a great man. People with no way came to him and found the way. And when they came to him, he said, "I first learned the word of God when the great rabbi held me silently against his heart."